Hello and welcome to another edition of the AttractWell Office Hours. That's where I am today. Hello. It is Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are here every single week to help you grow your coaching, consulting, business. If you are a course creator, if you help people get stuff done, do stuff for people, or serve people generally in your work, AttractWell is the one platform you need to do everything that your business needs to serve your clients, to get yourself out there to the world and to scale. And today we are meeting here to talk about your Work With Me page for your website. With AttractWell, you do have your own website. You don't have to have separate hosting or WordPress or any of that bits and bobble stuff that's difficult to maintain and create. You get it all in one place. And on calls like this, you get templates where the stuff is done for you, and you just plug in the things that you need to say and the pictures of what you got, and you're good to go. So today, we will be getting to that shortly, but I want to hear from you. You're here today live. We're always thrilled to have you here and learn about you and where you're from. Why don't you come on out and tell us where you're from and what you do? Go ahead and add that to the chat. We have an incredible growing community of folks who are doing amazing work all around the world, from people who have art subscription memberships for children, to music teachers, to coaches, network marketers, direct sellers. We've got attorneys coaching attorneys. We've got we've got folks working through people and all working with people through all stages of life and health. We've just got such an incredible and fascinating community of people doing cool work. So don't be shy. Come let us know what you do and share what that is with the community so you guys can get to know each other. Speaking of community, by the way, quick plug, we do have a Facebook group that you should absolutely join and be present for. It's a really great place to meet folks and to learn more about how you can grow your business in less time, with less tech, and with less headache. So we're here to help you get all of that done. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hop right into our slides here today. We are going to get out a video to get good recording quality for that. Thank you guys so much for giving for sharing yourselves here. We've got so many awesome people coming in the chat. If you're here live, definitely do head over and check out this cool conversation that's happening there. All right, we do have three people who are going to be working together live today with us. So I want to please invite you. If you have questions, pop those into the Q&A. We will be reserving space for live Q&A on the call, but I'm going to go through our content here. Greg, we can see my slides, right?
Yes, I can.
Perfect, thank you. We're going to go through our slides here, show you what we got today, and then, of course, make sure that we've got plenty of time for the folks who are here live looking for help. So today we're talking about how to create a Work With Me page for your AttractWell site. So we will be talking about what's in a page, different iterations for different use cases, depending on what you offer in your business. We'll also talk about your template. There are actually 4 of them. And we'll talk about how it connects to your website as well. And then, of course, we have our live help and Q&A. So again, if you haven't done so yet, please go ahead and come and tell us what you do. We have so many fascinating people here with us on the call today. And if you have questions, please go ahead, add those to the Q&A. Our chat can get a little lively, and I don't want to miss anything that you send to us. So please go ahead and do that if you're here live. And if you would like to work together, like 3 people will be doing today, you can go to attractwell.com/work-review and set up a dedicated time on an upcoming call to work together. And of course, if you just want to join in, you could always bring your questions here to Q&A, meet folks here in the chat, and be the first to know about these new templates and get them into use in your account by going to attractwell.com/office hours. That'll get you on the list for notifications, for reminders, and then finally for replays once those are posted. Now, let me know, you guys, come over into the chat or maybe raise your hand. Let me know, do you have a Work With Me page on your website? Is this something that you currently have? Is it something that you are perhaps working on? So a Work With Me page or a services page is a really great place for you to list the things that you offer and the options that exist for working with you that allow people to go a little deeper than just being on your list or being a visitor to your website. This is not limited to literally what you sell. A work with me or services page can also include things like links to the top of your funnel, so to a landing page with a lead magnet that's being offered. Lots of really cool stuff that you can do here, depending on what it is you got going on. So how you set your work with me or services page up is going to depend a bit on how you currently plan to funnel and qualify leads in your business, right? So we all have a different sort of conversion event depending on our type of business. Some types of business, the conversion event is somebody gives a request for quote, right? And then you respond perhaps after a call or some kind of inquiry with a quote, right? It could be that you have a sales process wherein people submit a good deal of information, you have a consultative call, and then you offer something for sale on the other end. Or perhaps you have something way more straightforward and you have things that people can literally just buy services or products directly off your website. So obviously, we are not a one size fits all. We are able to fit to you. So we do have 4 different templates that we're going to walk through today that'll show you some options that you can take advantage of. And then once we have those done, we have a fun new feature. I think it's fun and exciting. I hope you will too, that we're going to share with you, as well as how we can connect these pages to your site. All right. So first, our templates. Our templates, you're going to find these. You got these via email. If you're here on the call, you would have received this an email with this link. And then also this will be in the description below the video on YouTube. So we have 4 different templates here. You do not need to check all of these boxes. Sit with me for a moment. We're going to go through some of the different iterations of these. You can see some of the features of these pages, and you can actually choose which one of these you check and claim into your account. You could just get them all, you could do that, or you could just get the one that you feel like is going to serve you best. So let's take a look at that. First, we're going to talk through a few use cases. If yours differ wildly, if you feel yours differs wildly, then let us know, and we can talk through it here on the live call. So the first use case we'll talk about is if you have a single offer. If there is one thing, currently there's one way to work with you, one thing that you sell. This is something that you can sell on the actual Work With Me page, or you could send them to a sales page. As an example, if you offer multiple things, you could sell them on one page. Again, you could sell that on the Work With Me page, or you could send folks from the Work With Me page to different or single respective sales pages for those products. If you have one or more offers, one or more things that you sell, requiring a quote or a conversation before somebody can see what it costs and receive a way to pay, we're going to talk about that. And then finally, and this is for you coaches out there or people who sell consultatively, if you offer one or more things that you don't allow people to purchase off of a site or really from anywhere except the other side of a call where you have made the offer, then we're going to treat this a bit differently still. All right. So those are our main use cases. If you find that yours is significantly different from these, let us know. Put it in the Q&A and let's talk through it. All right. So starting out, if you have a single product or service that you sell that can be purchased directly from your website, they don't have to be pre-qualified. You don't have to have a conversation. Here's a thing, I sell it. Do you want to buy it? If the answer is yes, they can buy it right away, whether it's right now or 3 a.m. tomorrow, right? In this case, you can use, and I've created one of these for you, a gallery style page that kind of outlines and shows the journey of the work that you do and the outcomes and your qualifications. And you can sell with a form on this page or link to a sales page. So this would be the top part of this page. And you can see the name of the template. This is going to be in your resource bundle. It's named the Work With Me Gallery One Offer. That's the page, if this is you. So up at the top, it says work with, and there's actually a code there that says my first name. So it'll just automatically show your name, or you could change it. I do have prompts here in the design that'll show you kind of where you might want to say what. So in this case, the first thing we're going to do is tell the visitor who this offer is for and what it's going to do for them. And because we're just selling one thing, we're going to use these images to evoke features or outcomes of this product. right? And then we'll use this copy area beneath the images to maybe give a little bit more context. So here is the thing that I offer. You can buy it right now. It does this, and it does that. Here are 3 images. I'm naming what those things are. And then of course, I'm giving them a description. This is the gallery piece that I'm talking about here. And then down at the bottom of the page, there is a section with an image of your product on the right and some text on the left, where we're going to give them really a lead up to a pitch, a call to action here, where we're breaking down what they're going to get when they take this action. And then down here at the bottom, we have our final call to action with a button to purchase. In this case, and you can actually see in red here, we could use in the URL form of this button, you can put in #lead and it'll give you this pop-up that you see here with this blue button. You could also, in another section, perhaps a new section beneath this one, you could put the word form inside of brackets, and that will display this form on the page instead of in a pop-up. Or if you have a sales page for the one thing that you're selling, and this work with me page is really just kind of a bridge to move people to the sales page, then you can link to your sales page from this button, this green button down here that's on the page. Okay, so this is if we are selling one thing, if we're offering one thing. Now, if you have multiple products or services that can be purchased directly from your website, again, there's no pre-qualification required here. Maybe you've got 3 different courses. Maybe you've got a done-for-you service that's really standard that people can purchase straight off the website, plus a course, plus an ebook or something like that, right? So you've got a few things that can be purchased directly from your website that people don't have to have a conversation with you to purchase first. Then you can, again, use a gallery style page similar to the one that I just showed you. But in this case, it's going to link to additional sales pages, or there are some ways you can use the pop-up form in the payment section of your page settings. You can actually have people choose the item that they want from several options on a page like this. And so the gallery section in this case is going to have buttons. So here is the first thing that you can get from me, the second, the third, images of those respective products, some details, some copy about them. And then finally, in the button here, you could use that #lead in the URL field to have a pop-up where they can choose to purchase one or more of these things. You could use in a separate section, maybe at the bottom of the page, put form onto the page inside of brackets, and that's going to display that lead form where they can put in their information and purchase on this page itself. And then, of course, if these 3 different offers or several of them have their own sales pages, you can, of course, link to those pages from these buttons. And this would be the bottom of that page. So here are the things that I do and ways that you can work with me. And by the way, here's what some other folks are saying. Here's what the people who have bought some of these things are saying about me. And so we've got a gallery of testimonial images here that you could use. And then, and either of these things can be helpful for you to include in any work with me page on your website, just to provide some additional context, proof of concept, social proof, etc. We also want to have maybe a picture of you here, some supporting information about why you're qualified to offer the things that you do, etc. Right? Okay, so now let's get into some different use cases. This is going to be for those of us who require a conversation in order for a sale to be made. You need to be able to screen someone or qualify someone before you offer something, right? And in that case, there's a couple of different ways we can do this. This first one, I believe, is going to apply best to folks who have different types of offerings that you maybe cater to different clients or organizations. So let's just say maybe you're a speaker, you're a trainer, you're a coach, right? If you have multiple types of offerings that people would need to inquire with you about, then this would be a great option for that. Or if you do done-for-you services or the like. So in this case, we would still use a gallery style page that's going to show the range of your work or the different ways that clients could work with you. And then we'll want to include a form on this page that interested leads can use to ask you for information about what they're looking for. Okay. And so in this case, we've got our gallery up at the top where we've got, here's the first thing I do, the second thing, the third thing. And what I've done here is I've got #lead in all of these buttons. right? So we're putting that here. You do, of course, you could use lead in those buttons and then put a form on the page as well if you wanted to. But in this case, what I'd recommend is, you would have additional fields in this form. Instead of name, email, and phone, you would have name, email, perhaps also phone, but you would have name of organization, your role in the organization, and then give them some multiple choice questions like what are the, what are the services that you're interested in learning more about? Speaking, coaching, training, etc., or whatever your variety of things might be. If you want to treat this as a request for quote form, then ask whatever questions that you would ask of a prospective client here about the scope of the work they're looking for, budget, etc., so that you can actually gather from whatever they input here everything that you need to just simply respond with a quote, right? If that's how you do this. And then, of course, again, at the bottom of the page here, you're going to have some testimonials from clients, have a blurb about you from your About Me page, a photo of you, and so on. And then finally, if you use discovery or strategy calls to sell maybe high ticket offers, right? Or if you're using coaching or strategy calls to sell people into group programs, right? Larger investments, you're going to want to take a slightly different approach here, because what we're doing is creating an application funnel. Someone is applying for your time. They're going to be getting something of extraordinary value for free. They got to put in a little bit of work first, which means that we have to position this correctly. So in this case, we kind of want to sell the call like we would sell a product. And so we have them apply for the call using a form on the page. So in this case, we're saying, here's what you'll get. This is what I'm giving this amazing thing away. If this is a fit for you, this is who you are and what you'll get out of it. It'll do this, it'll do this. You'll walk away with these 3 things. Here's what they'll do for you. Here's why you should take action right now. Apply now. Right? And this is how somebody gets onto a call with you. And in this case, you might require other information. So if you are a business strategist or consultant, you're going to want to get the numbers, right? How long have you been in business? What's your monthly revenue? Do you have recurring revenue sources? How many clients are you seeing? How many do you want, et cetera? So you can actually get all of that information that you would then take into your strategy call, your discovery call. And then of course you are best equipped moving on from that point to make a sale. All right. So I do want to get into how we can actually modify some of these and make them fit your unique business and use case. But first, I want to toss this over to Greg because we've got a really exciting new feature that we have just released with AttractWell that for those of you who are actively using the contact manager and specifically using tags in the contact manager, you are going to squeal with excitement about this, just like I did. I think you will anyway. So Greg, can you show us?
Absolutely. Did you make me host? Let's see. Yes, you did. Okay, awesome. Let me share this out. Okay, so prior to this change, as I'm sure maybe some of you are familiar with, in order to remove a tag from a contact or to rename one, it was a multi-step process. Kind of difficult at times, I have to say. So this change has really streamlined some of those basic activities. You can continue to add and manage tags how you've done before, but now there's a new tool, our tag manager. Go into the contacts menu and click on settings down here. And there is a contact tags link right here. So click on that. It will show you all of the tags that are in your system. And from here, you can either click to view who has them. Let me close this tab here. So like if I, for example, I click on this one, it'll show me all the contacts that match that tag. I only have one that matches this tag in this case, or you can rename them, click the pencil icon, or you can delete them, or you can add them. So it's a number of changes that you can do quick and easily. So first of all, I'll open up the delete me again. I'll show you the rename. So you can see right here on there, on this contact, there's this delete me. So I'll just go ahead and click on the pencil and delete me now. I'll rename that and you'll see it'll update in there. And if I pop back over here and view it, it has changed to delete me now. So previously you had to like search for a tag, add a new tag, delete the old tag, it was a multi-step process. This makes it just a couple of clicks. Likewise, if you happen to have a number of tags that you wanted to get rid of, which does happen after you've been using the system for a while, maybe you'll accumulate things due to imports or whatever. It was kind of difficult. I mean, you had to go like bulk remove them from everybody, which would, totally works. But like now you can just come into the tag manager and click little X and wish to delete it. Poof, it's gone. So now I just kept this open. It's searching for this delete me now tag. I'll refresh, it's gone. It doesn't delete the contact. And if I come back over to this demo account, it's still here. It's just the tag is gone from it. So it'll remove it. Once you delete a tag, it'll remove it from either 0 contacts to as many contacts as you have in your contact database that match that. And then finally, you can add a tag here. My new tag. Hit add. That'll show up in the list. Happen to show up down there. Of course, there's no contacts that match it, but you can come here and then find contacts and add it if you'd like. So yeah, that's super fun. It's really fast and easy to manage the tags now. This has been something that's been on our wish list for years. So I'm really excited to see this come about. So
yeah, for those of us who have been wishing for a way to clean up our learning mistakes from early on, you have got a quick and easy way to get that done that I think is just so exciting. So yay for the wish list and for getting things knocked off of it. So I saw a couple of questions come through and I do want to make sure we've got time here. Peggy and Piper and Dorina are all signed up today to chat live. So we're going to make sure that there's time for everybody here. But I want to address a couple of questions that I've seen come through specifically about these templates and how we use them. First things first, if you have a combination of use cases, and I saw this in the chat, thankfully it didn't go too far lost. Sherry Lee asked in the chat, what if we have both things? Like some things people can just purchase, but then there's other things that do require conversation. This is going to really probably require that you have more than one page, right? So your work with me page is going to be, I have these things and you can buy them now. And I have these things that, require a conversation with me. This would also be similar for you. If let's just say, for instance, you are a speaker and a coach and you do some consulting work and some done for you services. You could list all of those on your work with me page, but you would then want to, let's just say you have a page that has like really more information about your speaking engagements, the type of, the type of talks that you give, maybe some video footage, that would necessitate its own page, right? So if you have multiple use cases or things that don't necessarily go well together, that is a case for making a separate page. And then your work with me page would really sort of be like a hub of your stuff, right? So where your homepage is the hub of your website, right? It's sort of the directory of all the things that you can get to. If you're there, you're landing people in the direction that you want them to go. And if they want to work with you, they click work with me. And if that opens up into more and ever expanding rabbit holes, if you will, all the better, because you're spending more time clicking around on your website, which is good for your SEO and it's good for the likelihood of you getting the conversion that you want from someone being there. Another question that came up is what does that hashtag lead mean? Let me go in and actually show you inside of a page what this means. So here's the one offer work with me gallery page. So this is what the template looks like when you're editing it. And I have lead down here in this button. So where it says lead right here, when someone clicks that, and let's just go view the page real quick so you can see, when someone clicks this, then it's going to pop up the lead form. Now the lead form can be edited here under settings, leads, right? And so that's going to show this. Now, if you take payment here, then you could, of course, integrate. You need to have your payment processor connected, but you can integrate payment here as well if you wish. Now, if you would prefer for this to show up on the page instead of on a pop-up, then what you would do is you would add yourself a new section here. I'm going to go one column, no header. And then I'm just going to type in form inside of brackets, just like this. And then make sure in settings that you select the lead capture form shows up on the page. Now, when I do that, I'm just going to go to my preview here. We're going to see if we click this, it's going to pop down to the form that's on the page. So this is what it would look like if you actually have the form on the page. This button will still pop to wherever the form is because that's still the lead thing. But yeah, that's how you play around with that. The other thing that you ought to know here as well is inside the button, there are a couple of different options that you can put there. Another one is instead of hashtag lead, you can go hashtag contact, and that'll pop up a generic contact form with your contact information in it that you have populated when you click your name right here in your AttractWell dashboard. And then another thing that you can do is you can jump to a section name. So you do have the ability, and definitely watch our page training and more design type trainings for this. But when you edit a section, you have the opportunity to name it. And if you want to use a button to jump to that named section, then you would put hashtag whatever the section name is inside of the button. So that's just your sort of quick and dirty on the button URL options. Okay, let's see. Are the lead forms edited on a per page basis or global? They are per page. You can, once you have a page that you love, with a form that you love on it, you can absolutely make a copy of that page. But yeah, once you have a form on a page, that's that page's form. The only universal form on our site is our contact form. And that's, again, that's going to display when you log into AttractWell and you see your name up in the top right-hand corner, that contact information is what's going to be what displays universally. Okay. So many questions here. So let me go ahead just to make sure that we get everyone covered here today. I have Darina, are you ready to come out? Can you raise your hand? I'd love to chat with you if you're still wanting to work together today. Let me see. Awesome. Hi. Happy to have
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. So my English is not so well. I will try. I
Okay.
live in France. I'm a health coach and working with Practice Better since 2 years. And I'm looking exactly something like your program, where I have everything inside, where I can do the funnels. I'm gonna do a training on online marketing, and I will learn how to do programs for groups, because until now I work to one-to-one, and it takes me too much time. I have to explain every time the same thing. That's why I want to do groups and videos where I can send them out, so I don't have to explain all the time the same things. So my question today for your program, can I do everything in another language, like French, for example?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and actually I could show you a beautiful example. It's not in French, it's in Dutch. But she has actually come out
Never
and
mind.
trained on our platform before, and she runs group programs and blogs, and she uses our platform to its fullest extent. And
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
her homepage,
this is her
and it's made
homepage.
with AttractWell. Wow, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
You know, the coaching, the how you say, the teaching I do in online marketing with a lady in France. She's working with Kajabi, and I
Okay.
think she's also looking for a program like yours. And I see now with the tags, with the addresses, because she learned us how to do with System.io. I don't know if you know this.
Greg knows.
System.io. Yes,
Uh,
Greg, you know? Okay.
Yep, I've heard of them.
yeah, so
Sorry.
we would be thrilled. I mean, so Katinka, whose page I just showed you, she is she teaches online marketing, and she teaches specifically to women in Belgium and the Netherlands.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So I think I will do, I see tomorrow my colleague. I talked to her already about your program, and I will take it, or if I understand this well, I can take it for $1
Mhm.
to test.
That's right.
And then what is the price then later?
It depends on the plan you select. I would, just to start out, I would pick your plan based on the size of your list, because you're going to want to import and email your list through this platform, and you want to make sure that you're able to connect with everybody on it. So I would just go by whichever plan level suits the list size that you have right now.
And the prices, you have them on your homepage?
And actually, Greg just put it into the chat. It's attractwell.com/pricing, and that's always going to reflect our current prices.
Okay, I will look at this. Okay, perfect. I don't have any question anymore.
All
And
right,
thank you very
wonderful.
much.
I'm
Yes,
so glad
no,
you're able to join us.
I still have another question.
Oh,
When I work with patients, I do a prescription with the nutriments, probiotics and stuff like this. So is there a possibility where I can do a database in French and to put them to do the prescription then? How does it look? So you have an example.
So if by prescription, if you mean, do you sell the products, or do you recommend them to buy products from another company and you receive money from that company?
Means I make the I'm specialized in leaky gut.
Okay.
The gut problems, and I work with a laboratory in Germany, a very good laboratory, and they do the testing and the feces testing. And then once I have the testing, I prescribe them different probiotics, minerals, vitamins, stuff like this.
Okay.
And I would like to do a database where I have, so I don't have to type it every time again. It's like how you a clinical how you call this prescription plan, a program. They have, for example, the first 2 weeks they have the cleaning program with these and these products, and then after they have the probiotics program, and then after they have the minerals and the vitamins, etc.
Got you. Okay.
Is there a possibility with AttractWell to do this?
Yeah, so there's two ways that you can do this. From a general perspective, where there's going to be general practices and recommendations, this would be inside of your program. So when you build your program in AttractWell, you could have the online class feature kind of walk them through. This is what we do in this phase, the cleaning phase. This is what we do in the phase where we add the probiotics and things like that. There are a couple of ways that you can build the sort of database that you're talking about. I assume this database is for the purpose of being able to quickly share information about a product, right? And maybe a link to it.
This is when I work one-to-one. I mean, in the group program, it's for everybody the same thing.
Okay.
But after, once they do the testing with the laboratory, they have personalized prescription. Okay. And that's where I need this database. So I need the name from the database, the trademark, the price, of course. Okay. The link where they can order the products. Yeah. And then I need to know what's inside in the product, how they have to take it, morning, afternoon, with a meal, when. And then also for what. Okay. So what I would do for this, for these products, to make it easy for you to share these pieces of information via email, or if you ever needed to maybe even put this into a
into your online class, if it's something you would recommend to anyone, or if it's something you're recommending to one client at a time. We have this feature called saved replies. And so what I would do in your saved reply is I would create one. And basically what this is, it's like a section of an email or a whole email. It's up to you. I would maybe use this recipe template. Nope, that's not the one that I want. I want recipe template 2 is the one that I want. So I'm going to go recipe template 2. Why do I keep doing this wrong? I'll try this one more time. I'm just going to start over. This is user error. See, I don't even get this right all the time. Which is the one with a lemon in it? I thought that was the first one. It's not, it's the second one. Okay, so we're going to create a saved reply, and this basically gives you the option to just drop information into whatever, in whatever format you want to. And actually, you know what? We might need to check this out. Oh, those are newsletter templates. Here's what I would do. I'm going to create just real quick an example. So here's a 2-field section here. In this first section, I'm going to add the image of the product. So image of product. And then here is info about product. Right? So then you would put all of that information that you are indicating needing, right? All right. So this is going to be called product 1. And I'm going to save that. And so if I am communicating with a client and I'm making a specific recommendation to that client, then what I can say is, all right, Rupert, I'm going to send Rupert an email. And we're going to say your prescription, and then I'll say whatever I want to say here, hit enter a few times, and then I'm going to go find that product 1, and I can drop it in here, right? So you can actually just pop in that information there. So that's how I would manage.
Can I pop this
like that.
in a PDF?
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. You could put links in there. You could upload your PDFs to AttractWell and have the link to the PDF there. Any number of things. So if you had just like a quick form, like a PDF that they could just click and open, you could also put something like that inside of a saved reply.
But now you showed me product 1, but normally in a prescription there is at least 4 to 8 products.
Okay, yeah. So about how many products would you say generally that you're working with?
Maximum 10. Maximum.
Okay. Yeah. So
if
then
somebody is in a really bad condition, so it's more 10.
Sure. Here, this one isn't so nice looking, but here, let me show you another way. So let's go back to our settings and we'll just create another one. So I would create a saved reply for each of those 10 products that you would likely recommend. And so you would just repeat this process where I would put in, so we're going to call this, I'll give it a header. So this is product 1, and then this is product info. And then here's the link to PDF, and I'll go and grab a PDF that's already in the system. So here's a printable, here's a PDF here. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to add that here. You could actually just click to add it. So I can just go here and voila, it's there. You could change the name. So click here. Right? Ideally, you want to spell correctly.
Yeah, I think you don't, I don't explain it well. It's on one PDF. There is, for example, 10 products.
Oh, okay. So you could just have the link to the PDF.
For example, you take vitamin 1. You have, and then how you have to take it, how long time, the information about the vitamin 1, and then here you have vitamin 2, vitamin 3, etc. And all of this will be one PDF.
Oh, I see. And you want to deliver this as a PDF? In that case,
exactly.
In that case, I would use Canva for that.
Canva?
Yeah, Canva.
And I have Canva, but
Yeah.
you have the whole database of the products.
Well, no, you would have to gather that information, right? You can't create PDFs in AttractWell. I mean, you can use the Canva button to go create PDFs, single page PDFs through AttractWell, but it's still using Canva. So if you want to create a PDF that has this different information in it, then yeah, you would still have to get and store whatever that database information is from whatever the source is. Production and design of documents isn't necessarily, it's not something that we do with AttractWell, but it's something that you can share using AttractWell, using those saved replies and things like that.
Can you show me a prescription with 4 or 5 products on?
I mean, it's not something that I'm very familiar with personally, but I would just go into Canva and create we'll use custom size. This would be like an A4. In this case, this would be inches, and that's 8.5 by 11. So it's like a printer sized piece of paper, right? And then, what I would do is for each sort of item that you would have, that you would put on a page like this, where you would have 10, I would have other Canva files where maybe if this is 8.5 by 11, maybe this is going to be maybe 7 by 3. And so this is what I'm going to use for the prescription. So I'm going to go and just pretend maybe we got an image from off of the manufacturer's website, but here's here's the bottle, right? So here's the actual image of the product. Here's the product name. And then any of the product details, right? Right. So you would have all of this in Canva. And then when you create this this design, then you just go into your existing projects, and then you pop those things in. So this actually isn't saved yet. So this is not going to do what I want it to do. So, but basically what's happening here is you're creating one thing that you can reuse over and over again. And so when it's time to use, the first one, I don't know if it's going to let me do it. I'm having issues with Canva this week. Here we go. So here's the first product, right? And then you would have this for the different products that you are giving away as the prescription. So you would go and you would get the next one and you drop it in, the next one, drop it in, and so on. And then you save this as a PDF, from which point, you would be able to upload it into AttractWell, send it via email, and so on. If you want to make a document like that, it's really more of something that you want to do on a different platform that's designed for creating PDFs like that.
And I create the whole database, even with 1,000 products on Canva. Is this possible?
I would not recommend that you do that, no. For your clients who are working with you one-on-one, if you're making a recommendation, I would really...
It's not on one. My database has maybe 1,000 products. So what I was looking for, it's more like a document, a PDF, where I put a placeholder in.
So that would take a lot of work, and I don't know that it's necessarily work that would have a high return for you. I think that what would probably make the most sense, especially if these are highly individualized, like these are prescriptions are unique to each person, then I would find the best explanation that you can give for using that product, if it's from the manufacturer or something that you've said previously. I would just collect those things. And I mean, I don't think that there's really a shortcut outside of just doing it, because these are just, it doesn't make sense to go and replicate someone else's work, to the degree of thousands of entries when they already exist. If there's a way for you to just kind of copy and paste it and just make that thing for each person, it might be more work than it's worth, if that makes sense, to make it, you know, a thing on a website, because we don't really have the ability to integrate that stuff outside of you just copying and pasting information into our site. If that makes sense. I hope that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, I will test. I will see if you know, Practice Better, right?
Yes.
In Practice Better, you have this database.
Right. And they are very specifically designed to work with a particular type of business. And that is one of the very highly specialized features that they have. Yeah.
Yes, I will try.
We do have a lot of folks that have come to us from Practice Better. It's just there are a couple of things we just have to work around a little more creatively. And that is one of those examples.
Yes, a database would be great. So this was what I need the most. And then, for example, when they do the testing, I would like to have like a chart where I see that they have, for example, the first chart, they have this, how do you say this? For example, for the iron, they have so much iron. And then I do the testing again 3 months later. So I have another number. And can I have in AttractWell somewhere where I see the value, the evolution of these numbers?
Yes. And
sorry, my English, it's not so bad.
It's excellent. I understand you perfectly. So what this looks like is it's called, and it would be on your contact card. So maybe this is your client, contact progress. It's this section is called contact progress. And so we could say, you know, that our metric is iron levels, right? And then we're going to give that a value here, value here, value here. And so you're able to track that over time, and you can edit, and you could also allow them to view your client to view and edit that information as well.
This is perfect. And I can also put the weight in, the heart frequency, everything.
Yes.
This is perfect. And they see, but you don't have the chart, huh?
That's right.
It's just the value.
That's right. It's just the values.
Okay. Perfect. And I can put, for example, iron level, and then I put in the norm value inside.
Yeah, you can put in multiple different types of values here. You can put in text and you can put in numbers in here. So you have multiple options here.
Okay, but the next to iron level, I could put, for example, the norm value inside.
Potentially, I'm not very familiar with what that looks like and how you would do it, but you do have the option to have multiple metrics next to each other and to provide more than just a number in that space.
Okay. I think I will take it for $1. It's for 30 days.
That's correct.
Okay, so I will test it, and then if I have some question, I will come back to a classroom like now. Thank you very much. We would love to have you back.
Of course. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right. We also have, let me see, where did you go? Where indeed? Hold on just a second. All right, Piper. Are you here, Piper? Will you raise your hand for me? There you are. Hi. How can we help today?
Hi, I have a few things. One is
Yeah.
I have a main page, and on it, my formatting for mobile, for some reason, one of the columns where I have a bulleted list is sort of to the right when I have it. I've messed with all the settings and tried to even like duplicate the other section that has the same sort of format, and all I can think is that where the location of the images is messing up how the bullet list is formatted. So I'm not sure if something I can share.
I can.
Okay,
What's it
great.
called?
My page.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but will you be able to show the mobile view?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's piperrosecoaching.com.
What's it called inside your account?
Oh, is this mine?
Yeah.
Oh, coaching, it's the main one. I think it's the highlighted one. Yep.
This one? All right, perfect. So we'll view it, and I'll also, let me close out of these others. And
And then
then,
I have one more question after that's a little different.
yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
perfect.
All right, so we're gonna open the editor and we're gonna
Great.
open, okay. So which one, which section? Because this, obviously we're looking at desktop view here.
It's one of those. I can't remember. I think it's
Okay.
the first one, but if you go to mobile, you'll see what it does. It's like a mystery to me. My mind is boggled. Okay, so scroll down and here's the first one. See, it's to the right. Now, if you scroll down, the other one is perfect. So
Okay.
this is great. And I was like, well, the image is in a different location. Perhaps it's the image, but that top one, I'm just like, I've
Okay.
tried everything.
Okay. All right. So it's this, does this resonate with you one? All right.
Yeah.
So let's, I believe this is going to be, let's go to our element style editor. Greg, I may need to call in the troops here. I'm going to click this guy. And I think okay, so we've got padding. You got padding right there that could be contributing. I don't know if you've played with that yet, but I'm moving this over a bit, and let's go look at mobile for that section.
The other idea that comes to mind is making a copy of that other section in case, you don't want to try to diagnose it, make a copy of it and then like copy and paste the text over.
Okay, so
That's-
it
I've done that a time or two.
looks like padding might be able to support it a bit. Can you scroll down and see how it looks next to that section in terms of like overall on the web page now? Like it looked like when you did padding, we got a bit of that. And now if we look at it just regular, and then scroll down to the other one to see the spacing between the two. Yeah, okay. I think we can mess with the padding then. And then Greg, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it if that doesn't work. Okay, thank you. So
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it looks like it's just the padding. It's just, so what you want to just make sure that you have edit the element style. So click this guy and then make sure you're hovering over, because you can like just grab these or
wow.
Yeah, make sure you highlight that whole guy right there and then go down to your padding.
I 100% think that's what I did. I did not do. I must have not captured the whole section when I was messing with this, because I was like, I swear I messed with padding, but okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's easy to mess with padding in like multiple ways on multiple parts. So I think we might have gotten it right here if you like how that sits.
I do.
So yeah, we'll just save it.
Gosh, thank you so much. I didn't realize about that segmented, like how granular I can get.
You really can.
Of editing within what I perceive of as a whole section. So that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the second one I came for advice around signing an agreement. So after a purchase is made, they need to sign my coaching agreement. And I was curious if there was a signature form function within AttractWell somewhere where I can have them actually sign an agreement within the portal and then remain in the portal associated with their profile, or if I need to like purchase Jot form or something and have like a different outside service that then I link to within an email because I built a campaign that gets sent after purchase or something like that. But I still want it to end up in their profile. So I'm curious about that.
Got you. Yeah. So in-system signing is on our wish list, but it's not a current capability. If you want for them to be in the platform, receive a thing, upload a thing, and for that to land automatically on their contact card, because if we play the email game and you're like, do this and then email it back to me, then you're going to have to go and remember to put that into their contact card. The way I would do this is to have an onboarding module inside of your member area that you put your clients through, where they have required homework. And on the page where you have that required homework, you're basically saying, first things first, we got to sign this agreement, download this, print it out, fill it out, whatever. and then you're going to upload it to this page. And in order for them to be able to proceed to next steps with you, and they're literally blocked until they upload that file. And that now lives in the homework tab under your vaults for that
So
client.
you could potentially say, you could potentially set this up under vaults and say, sign this, and then the next module would be schedule your first call.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
about
you can
building.
even have an automation after they submit that and that lesson is completed. You can have an automation redirect them immediately to a page to book with you, or you could even have your booking form embedded in the next lesson. It's a lot of options there.
And what did you call that again, that feature? It's in the vaults. But what?
Yeah. So it's an online class, right?
Okay.
So you're going to have an online class, and for that lesson, you're going to, it's going to be sign the agreement. That's the lesson. Put whatever the
Right.
instructions are on the page, put the upload the homework to the file section, and then you're going to require homework in order to proceed.
Okay, but there is no form signing functionality in AttractWell, so I would need to pay for an additional service for
And
a form.
I do have one thought there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's necessarily, legal where you live and whatever, and the rules might vary by states. I'm not a lawyer, all that good stuff, but you can use the form builder. I've seen some people do that. They'll use the page builder and put a form on it, so that the page builder, they'll just put in the content of their contract right there. And then at the bottom, they'll have a form that says, check this box to agree to terms, and then type your name in lieu of a signature. So you can do that and have it integrated. It's not like some others where you can take a PDF and put it up there and like, oh, your signature goes here and here and here, but
Right.
it might work, and does work best usually for like these initial coaching contracts that people
And
have.
then the form will associate with the profile, it sounds like, as well. The form will ultimately go
Yeah.
into the profile. And do I have to set anything up to ensure the form gets their profile?
No,
If I
no,
have set
in
up
that case, no.
email, can I?
They'd have to put in their name and email. You could
Name and
make that a
email.
requirement. Yeah.
Okay, so name
Yep.
and email in the form allows the data to map to the profile. And so I could set up like a welcoming email series or campaign in which I say like, welcome, you purchased this package, go ahead and sign this form. Okay, your next one is da da da. But I do like the module idea as well. So I think it could work. I think there are actually use cases for both that make a lot of sense. Especially tomorrow, what can I do? It's Greg's suggestion.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, like
Right.
that's like tomorrow's execution. And then Ashley's is much more in-depth and requires a little bit of more time. And okay, that's fabulous. Okay, that was my second one. And then can you just point me to a good help article or video? Sometimes when I'm searching for help articles, I think I'm not using the jargon that AttractWell uses, and so I can't like get where I want to go. But I have a free offer, a recorded hypnosis, and I would like to capture the email and exchange it for the hypnosis. Now, I want it to pop up on every page, like as a pop-up over my regular pages to offer this. And what is that called, so that I can search for the help article so I can actually build this thing?
Got you. Yeah. So we don't have a universal pop-up across the site. So what you're going to want to do is either make a replicate of a page that has that lead offer, and have that be sort of the base that you start with for your other pages, or you just simply copy that same information over onto the subsequent pages on your site. And what you're going to do for this, and let's just say, for instance, you wanted to do this on the coaching package sales page, which is literally like the one page you probably wouldn't do this on.
Yeah.
If we go to settings and then to leads, you're going to put that information here, right? So here, we'll go to a different page and I'll show you.
Oh, I can only do one lead per page. Like I can't do, because right now on my first page, it's like schedule discovery call is my call to action, and it's associated with the lead flow. But if I wanted people who weren't scheduling a discovery call, who were just visiting my site, to like prompt them to download it,
You could send them to another link. So it's really just a matter of whatever the priority is for a pop-up for you. It is one pop-up per page at this point. It's one form per page. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
if you
it's
want to
called
send them
form?
somewhere, you could always send them to another page, but it's always going to be in the lead section of settings on your page. And you also, of course, get to choose there under leads how this pops up. So if you want it to be an exit intent for when they try to leave, or if they've scrolled past a certain amount of the page, or they've been on the page for a certain amount of time.
Okay, so it seems like maybe that won't work because I have my discovery call flow on that first page. So maybe it's more like setting something up in the top nav that's like free hypnosis or something, and someone clicks on.
Yeah, like a call out at the top, like put a section in like this and make it like a nice contrasting color, and
exactly.
and then put a button up here, and it goes to another place.
Page. It would go to a different page, right? Okay,
that's cool. Right.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's all I have.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming out. Great questions. All right. I also have Peggy. Hi, come on out.
Hi, Ashley and Greg. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course.
Yeah, so I guess I've been with AttractWell. This is still my first month, and I've set up my website. But there's so much to do. I want to know what to do first. So what I do is I'm a coach, mostly nutrition, exercise. And right now I'm doing a lot of one-on-one. So I do want to coursify some of the teaching, but for now, I want to make sure that when people hear my radio ad that's running for the rest of the month, I want them to be able to go to my page, leave their contact so that I can at least email them back, because I don't have anything else set up. So I want to make sure that is good. And then what should I do next? What are my next couple of steps?
Yeah. All right. So it's really, really simple. First step, if you want to capture people's information, the first and easiest thing you can do is just employ a button with the form, or employ a button with #contact in the URL field, right? And that's just going to pop up your contact form. They can put in whatever they want to put in, their name, email, additional comments, whatever. Or on your page, so let's just say your homepage, you want to do this on your homepage. Perhaps you want to maybe just, put a couple of additional lines of copy up here where you say, I love sharing my favorite tips on XYZ. Do you want to be on the list? Click here, right? And so you could actually do that right here, right? Here, I'm going to type this in here real quick. Do you want my tips? Click here. And obviously I can't see it right there. Right. And so I'm going to change this click here to I'm going to change it to a link. And that is going to be #lead. I'm going to hit insert, and I'm going to change the style of this to we'll use like a green button here. I'll say done, right? And obviously this isn't perfectly, formatted. Then we just want to, under the settings leads here on the page, we will have a pop-up for when they click that. And then of course you'll say whatever you want to say to them here. And this way, when someone actually visits your page, and we could just look at the preview of this very shoddy example right here, we can click here and it's going to pop this up where they can put in that information. So the next step is definitely going to be to have some call to action for someone to give you their information above the fold on your website. And you do have this set up really beautifully. Like, it's a really great picture of you, and you've got it's the right kind of messaging. It's all set up correctly. The one thing we're missing is we got to capture them in these first few seconds if they say yes to this question, right? And so that's really the next thing, is to put something here, promise whatever it is, and make it based on what you've got right now. Make it if it's a do today thing, then it's I love sharing my tips. If you want them, click here. And then the first email that you send out in that campaign can say, here's who I am, here's what I do. What are you most interested in learning? Hit reply, right? And now you're just inviting a dialogue, and you don't have to worry about having some massive, nurture campaign built or anything like that yet.
Okay, thanks. And I did, in Pages, I did set up a landing page.
Okay.
But I have to say, it doesn't appear anywhere. So in the the radio ad, it says, contact me at peggycross.com/WEHM. So that's when that came from, the WEHM, but it's not linked to anything. And when you type in peggycross.com/WEHM, it just goes to the homepage.
Got
So-
you. So there's a reason for this. When you create a page, the URL is yourwebsite.com/whatever that page slug is. For a landing page, it is yourwebsite.com/landing/whatever the name of the page is. So if you have an ad that's running right now with that, let's go ahead and create a redirect so that people are landing on this page here. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and fix that real quick, because we can't have that. Can't have you running ads that go nowhere. So
Thank you.
yeah, so we're gonna just create a blank page, and you guys, this is how you make a pretty link if you didn't know and you're watching this. All right, so this is going to be WEHM, right?
Yes.
Perfect. WEHM, and this is a WEHM redirect. All right, is what we're going to call it. It doesn't matter what any of this other stuff is or does, because nobody's going to see it. Under advanced, auto forward to URL, there is our actual landing page, right? We can actually look at that here. Right?
Okay.
So it's going to redirect to that. And so now when we save this and we go to, we're going to remove landing from here because we're not sharing that. So peggycross.com/WHM, that will now redirect here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All
So yeah, the difference there is that when you are using a landing page, it does alter the URL path slightly from if you were using just a page.
Okay. Terrific. So I have my next, what I want to do is to get that that landing page, not the landing page, but just be able to have them put their contacts in. Where do I go next? I mean, I have a mailing list that's 500 people big. I have an almost ready to go course that needs to be uploaded. There's so many things I could do next. What do you
Yeah.
think of this move?
Well, what's your goal next?
So my goal is to have this one-on-one coaching business, but also have this one course on my website and build 2 or 3 other courses.
Okay. How many, like, are you seeing clients currently right now?
Yes.
Okay. And how are they reaching you currently? The prospective ones?
Yeah. I get referrals from doctors.
Okay.
And word of mouth.
Okay, great. So it sounds like the likelihood, so in most cases, folks are being probably referred to you via email, right? Like, hey, this is Peggy, right? Like that you're being introduced to new referrals, or are they saying go to her website? Like, how are they referring you?
Yeah, I guess that go to her website or here's her phone number.
Got you. Okay, yeah. So then like we discussed at the beginning here, what I would do is have a get in touch, maybe a get in touch button here, or another option would be if we go view your homepage. Oh yeah, this is contact. Well, that's actually that covers that base right there. There's a nice logical space here. You could also have a work with me page that outlines the different options that exist. I mean, I think you've got all of that where the clients are concerned, and the people like who actually land here, who are referred to you, have a very clear means of understanding how to reach you. So I think that the next step would really be, how do we capture them so that we have them on our list? And so that would be whatever the sort of lead magnet is that you're offering right here, so that we can, obviously there are people who could be a great fit for coaching with you, but not yet. And we want to be able to have those people who are in a more passive state right now have the ability to passively engage with you over the long term, so they warm up. And that's kind of that whole point of having a list, right? So whatever we can put out here above the fold in this beautiful section you've created, that's really what I would say is the next thing for you, is let's get a lead generating funnel up and running right here. For now, you're leading them toward a perhaps a one-on-one call with you, or purchasing a session or something like that. And then once you have your course launched, then you could tweak that funnel to sell the course or program at that point.
Perfect. I have direction. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
absolutely.
Okay.
I hope you'll be joining us for the launch challenge. It's a lot of the kind of stuff that we're going to be going over. So if you can join us for that, I think that we could do a lot of work together there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for sticking around and for asking such great questions. TL has a good question as always here. Lead nurturing via funnel versus direct hard sell, pros and cons, and where or how best to place each. What a very interesting question. It really is going to depend so much on what it is that you're offering, the price point, the pain points that are related to why somebody might make that purchase, and also your communication style. You know, some of us feel perfectly comfortable getting into a conversation with someone, asking the hard pointed questions and allowing the road to reveal itself to the yes, right? That is definitely, you know, something that it can take some practice and some training, right? I do have some training on that inside of the Client Funnel Challenge. If you guys ever want to check that out, I've kind of specialized in taking the effectiveness of that approach and softening it for introverts and healers over the years. So you'll kind of see that perspective there and really everywhere that you see me teaching this stuff. But TL, I think the answer is both, honestly. You want to have, in a broad, wide sense, an indirect nurturing funnel, because you want anybody who just generally finds you and is like, yeah, that guy, to opt in and feel comfortable opting in, and to just, you know, kind of hang around in the, you know, maybe in the back of the room for as long as they want to, while you are continually in that passive nurture, encouraging them to move a little closer to the stage, if you will. And so you may find that in the nature of your work, you never really require a hard sell, or the hard sell is really only something that you place at the point in your funnel where it's really time to tell somebody it's time to make a decision, right? And so you may put that into a sales video or a webinar, or it may be something that you have in a call, although I hope that it's not a hard sell and it's really just more of a direct question. So yeah, I look forward to maybe chatting with you further about this as it pertains to your business on a future call. Again, you guys, thank you guys so very much for being here and participating in these great discussions. This is an incredible community, and we are so pleased to have you as part of it. So join our Facebook group if you haven't already. By the way, if you are planning to attend the Launch Challenge Workshop Series, our kickoff call is tomorrow at 2:00 Eastern Time. You should have received an email about that already. And you can also get access to it if you are not in yet by going into your account settings and looking for the Launch Challenge. You can get access. So look forward to chatting with you guys there. So excited to work with you again next week, 2:00 Eastern. We'll see you guys later. Take care.